Okay, so then you burst onto the scene. You're doing comps. Martin's given you the connection. I know Tarek has done great things. So you've sort of got someone in your corner to get you into events or sort of help you make less mistakes, I guess. What was it like getting to these events, touring, then you're going to start flying to other countries? Like,
Yeah,
spoken to enough guys. It's the slopestyle guys. It's pretty rock style life, you know. The money might
yeah,
not be as good, but the lifestyle certainly looks similar.
totally. Yeah, I mean, so I guess I would have been like competing a few years. Like in Sweden, I've competed for a couple years before that, and then maybe I've done like a year or two, like in Europe, and then the year before this all happened, I went to the States, did this Claymore Challenge in Highland Mountain Bike Park, and yeah, traveled with Martin. And I think already then that was my first like year on the FMB World Tour. I think I ended up like 23rd in the world, which gave me some like momentum and confidence, and just trained a lot and super hard in for the 2013 season, which would have been the first year like going pro. So yeah, it was really cool, like traveling to all these cool locations, and yeah, just basically riding your bike with friends on amazing courses, which I mean seems unreal to think that could be your job, you know?
And what about the rockstar? I mean, yeah, it is traveling the world, riding with your mates.
Yeah,
You're so young, everything's probably fun. You're learning, and then let's not forget, like these friends like to let off some steam or maybe get rid of some of the stress, right? That's how I look at it as well. It seems like then you guys let your hair down after the event pretty hard as well.
yeah, for sure. I think even like it used to be a lot more rock star life, like back when I came on and compared to nowadays, but it's definitely like like you're saying, letting off some steam after the event, or even I mean, they back then people let off steam before the event and stuff like that, but
During
usually
it.
after an event, yeah, during it, all of that, but after an event, usually some huge after parties, which were usually a really good time, and yeah, definitely some cool stories from those.
Yeah, and what's some of the highlights? Like looking back, do results come to mind? Do after parties, like the bonds with the friends,
Yeah,
like what comes to mind? Like looking back at those early years.
yeah, I think in the beginning, I was just blown away of like honestly just riding with all these idols of mine that I've seen in videos from when I was younger, and then now competing against them, and some even beat them, you know, in events. Seemed so crazy. But like I think yeah, my first full year on tour was my best year, which would have been that first year on Canyon. I ended up like sixth overall in the world, which to me was crazy coming from like yeah, the year before 23rd with no sponsors, and then all of a sudden just thrown into the deep end and competing with the best of the best, and even some podiums and some events. So yeah, definitely crazy fast ride.
Yeah, and did that add to expectations from your side? Did you get more sponsors, salaries? Like, what did it look like? Because obviously it was probably happening so quickly, I would imagine. And it's just
For
exciting
sure.
and there's no expectations. Like every result you get, you're like, well, that was amazing. I would guess. Like I had similar, like riding against my
Yeah.
idols, then qualifying better than them, then sometimes beating them and going, okay, well, this is my new normal. And then, as it goes on, you expect to be there the whole time, and that's not always realistic.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it started fairly early in the season. Actually, 2013, I got third in Red Bull Bergline and stood on the podium with Brett Reeder and Sam Pilgrim. It was like, damn, I'm up here with these guys, and there's a lot of huge names under me in the rankings. And then basically, like you're saying, it went so fast, just going from an event to event to event. It's pretty hard to like stop and realize what's going on. And the next one would have been they did the X Games in Munich in 2013, and I remember being just pretty frustrated not being invited because I was competing against these people, and yeah, like there were 2 weekends before I managed to be on the podium, and then they had this Red Bull Phenom contest where they put like younger riders. So I basically was put in a rookie contest. I looked at it like that anyway. It was like 6 people invited to it, and I think it was me, Louis Rebel, Matt Jones, Tom Van Steenberg, and am I forgetting someone? Probably. Yeah, Ray George, an American kid as well, and then I think a Finnish guy. And I ended up winning that. And I think that was basically like for Red Bull to see who was the next kid coming up and put on the radar, you know. And then it just kept on going that year, contest after contest. Ended up third in the Colorado Freeride Festival. And then a few weekends after, going to Whistler for the first time. And yeah, riding in my dream event, Red Bull Joyride, which is the pinnacle of the sport. And yeah, I actually had like a huge crash, probably like 15 minutes before the event. I was like, oh no, this can't be it, how this ends. I could barely walk like 10 minutes before my run. I was like, is this it? And then luckily I had my brother there with me, and he was like, man, you need to toughen up and at least give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? Like, you've traveled this far, and yeah, you'll regret this if you don't try. So basically just took my first run as a bit of a warm-up lap, and then the second one went for it and ended up fourth. So definitely stoked that